All right, welcome back to Twin Terror. I'm David.
Not Gary.
And we're fresh off our live and now doing our readings for the week, or at least a couple, anyways.
Yes, exactly.
We record this at January 20th, a day of mourning for the nation at 2 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific time.
Yes.
Now, on my community page, I have a link to it. I'll see if I can get one on the Twin Terror community page as well. There is a collection of sound bites. Actually, they're videos with sound bites of Trump giving a speech at his January 19th birthday party that he had in Washington, D.C., his victory party, whatever he was calling it. And in those video clips, he basically said that Elon went to Pennsylvania, campaigned for 6 weeks, and he knows everything there is to know about those computers, the ones that tabulate the votes. You know, basically, he said the quiet part out loud. Elon went in there and messed with the tabulators so that Donald Trump could win the election. And then he talked about, twice he mentioned something about rigging the election so he could win. And here we are. Now, there might be a brain scramble going in there, but the words he said were twice that they rigged the election and I won. You don't rig an election so that Trump loses. If you're the Democrats, you don't rig the election against Kamala so Trump wins. That's not how that works.
Yeah, a reasonable person could come to the conclusion that Trump is saying the quiet part out loud and confessing his sins.
Yes, and then the last clip is Elon stuttering and sputtering while talking about this new administration, because it's like somebody who's been caught lying, thrown under the bus, talking to an authority figure. I can't think of a lie quick enough here.
Yeah,
Elon just got thrown under the bus, and Trump's not going to be held accountable. He never is. He's not going to be held accountable for this. Guess who it is? Trump's not long for this world anyways. Elon's going to be along for this world. Elon's going to be held accountable, potentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's probably Elon's brain was trying to think, how can I spin this?
Yeah.
MAGA Mike Johnson can spin it because he's a politician and he's got a lot of practice spinning the shit when Trump says something unexpected or says the quiet part out loud. He's got enough ability to spin it, whereas Elon Musk doesn't have that ability. It's kind of like if you ever watched improv comedy like Whose Line, they'll have like questions only, for example, is one of the games where you can only ask questions and you have to respond to the question with a question. And the guys on stage are very good at it because they've practiced it a lot and they can really run with it. Whereas if you're like at home trying to keep up with it, you're going to sputter and fail because you're not good at this. You don't have a lot of practice. And it's sort of like that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
So,
hi.
Trump appears to be saying the quiet part out loud.
Indeed.
And I want to look at the energy around him saying that. How does that impact the collective when he's basically flat out saying that Elon changed the votes in Pennsylvania, causing Trump to win Pennsylvania in a landslide? Yep. How do you bounce back from that? Mm-hmm. But let's see what the impact is. Now, mind you, this matters not to MAGA. If anything, the NASCAR motto is if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Yeah. And this would be kind of like that on steroids. Raise hell, praise Dial.
Yeah, I wonder how much that would really bother them if the truth came out that, you know what, there's manipulation going on, but...
Not at all is my prediction. Because they don't care.
You're probably right.
Trump's your daddy. That's all they care about.
Owning the libs was more important.
Yeah.
You had to save the nation, and if you had to rig the election to save it, that's the cost of saving the nation.
Yeah, suck it up. All right, so let's look at the energy around Trump, just basically saying the quiet part out loud.
And this is for entertainment purposes only, folks.
All right, so what do we got? Well, that's not the card you want to see. Well, it's the injustice of it all. and Trump was funny. He's like, we're going to reset the scales of justice. Good Lord. Yeah, because these are way too even. We're going to put our finger on the scale big time. This really should cause the Attorney General to take action against what was said. I don't know how, like, if Pam Bondi, if she gets in there, how does she ignore that comment? Probably quite easily. So how does this impact things? Well, it shows that this election was rigged, and there should be court cases coming from this. State attorney generals should be the ones suing at this point for recounts to look and see what happened in here. There's going to be future actions coming from this. Past Ace of Swords. It's funny. Trump will justify what he did, but this is going to cause a movement in the legal side of things. It has to. It just, I don't know how else to go about it. Again, you've got the Supreme Court making Trump king, and King Trump is back here, but he just basically said they cheated. This election was stolen. It's a fabrication. It's not real. And he explained that now basically how they did it. Overarching energy, winning at all costs. The lesson to be learned. The problem is, for Trump's point of view, the election's over and he's won, even though he said it the day before the inauguration. But there's this underlying thing that by doing this and admitting it, you're forcing justice to do something about it. They can't just ignore it. But for right now, the government's under Trump's control. This is going to be a challenge for the U.S. government and for almost like for swing states to look at their elections. I don't know how this. I mean, the elections are already certified, so in some ways, this is like the cyber ninjas going in there and looking at ballots, looking for bamboo things, because clearly it would come from Vietnam or some crazy ass crap that they were saying before.
Chinese paper.
But this should cause swing states where, especially Pennsylvania, this should cause Pennsylvania to go back and look, basically do a hand audit of their entire election and tabulate the ballots and do experiments where they run them through the tabulators, and does it change the votes? But I would expect that some Democratic controlled AGs look at their election results and demand a full audit of it. I don't know if that really is a reasonable or feasible thing that's going to happen, but I sure as hell would want to know that my elections weren't tampered, especially if I was in Pennsylvania, because they called them out specifically.
Yeah, so let's look at that specifically. Will this motivate Pennsylvania to do a full audit on their election results to see if Trump was saying the silent part out loud, inadvertently telling the truth, entertainment purposes only? Okay, Foundation, Eight of Pentacles, they're going to get to work.
I can also see, crowdfunding. I'd go fund me that. You really need to raise a couple $1 million? I'll throw some bucks at you. Go do it.
Yeah, exactly. They should probably have a crowdsourcing for that. They want to get to. They're going to get to work on it. They've got one more battle to go. It's been an embattled process. There was already a recount for, I think it was the Senate election, and that sort of ended premature. It ended suspiciously early. But the challenge is, do they want to go to battle one more time for this? Underneath it, the Five of Swords, the win at all costs, the fighting is when you should be walking away. That's what's underneath this, is that did he actually cheat? And the undercurrent energy is that winning at all costs. Sending Musk in there, and it may be a multi-layered approach. It might not just be switching votes, but they may find that there's more going on. In the past was the Eight of Cups, that walking away from this, just basically not being happy with the results, but being willing to walk away. Current energy. God, I've not thrown the devil card in weeks, and I've got it like 4 times today. The current energy is the devil. Is Trump is saying it out loud. He's saying the quiet part out loud. Every accusation is a confession. He's basically confessing what he did. Overarching energy is a steal. You know what? We weren't paying attention, and someone was walking away with the votes. Lesson to be learned. 3 of Wands. The things that you got to look out in the future, look out on the horizon, and waiting for that ship to come in. It's in this case, since we're looking at elections and election results, it's looking out as, will people trust our elections results if there's this undercurrent of cheating that's going on? If Trump was really confessing to what he did, we need to look out there and decide, is this the future we want? We need to take actions. Outcome, Knight of Swords. That is charge. The way these cards read, the way I'm interpreting, they're going to take a look at this. They're going to move forward.
And looking at that spread, I think what you've got there is they're looking at, we can do this, but what's going to be the outcome for it? Because the election's already decided. The election got voted on in the past. It's over with. Trump won. Now all of a sudden this news is coming out that he stole the election. And what do they do to protect future elections?
Yeah,
and maybe
that's the critical card in this whole reading, is that one there.
And it could very well be that because of that, they move quickly to basically look at it, because there's, again, 5 of Swords, it's done and dusted. They've already certified it. He's sworn in. It won't impact, which is the Knight of Wands. It won't impact this one. But I think for setting the record straight, you got to look at it. You cannot not look at this thing. Which cannot not is a double negative, so take off the not and not. You can look at this. You should look at this. You should give the voting public the confidence that that either the election was legit, or if it's not legit, that you understand how it got cheated. Now, will that cause? Will they do it? That's what I want to look at. Will U.S. states actually do this? Because there could be a guidance that's being given by the Biden administration on their way out the door, suggesting that they don't do it because it makes America look weak. That our elections got manipulated, and we will quietly fix it in the background so that nobody knows, the abuse that just happened in this household, type of thing. But how they couldn't hear the shouting from the windows, whether they were open or closed, I don't know. But don't try and pretend like all the other countries in this world don't understand what just happened. And it would explain why world leaders are just, taking Trump to task, not putting up with his BS, being all sassy back to him for the weak man he is. Will these states actually look and do something about this, or is it just wish casting on my part? Will the states look at this? They have to look forward to. It's almost like no, but they're looking at the next elections, and how do they ensure their next elections are a fair process? They're looking. There's some messaging about it, talking about it. grifting, fundraising. I'll come back to this underlying energy here. It's almost like trying to come up with ideas. They might look at it quietly. That's where I'm wondering. I wonder if they're going to do it on the down low. Yeah, because they don't. What happens if you overturn the election? There's going to be pandemonium, the argy bargy pandemonium in the streets. So what's the compromise to do this so that we put on the overt, God, I got the pages here about values, messaging about MAGA here. It's almost like they don't change anything to placate these idiots. But there's a big opportunity here to look at their elections and see what adjusted them and make that all these coins here, all this money. Will they look at it? I don't know. I mean, they should, but there's a lot of money involved in this. Ego. Will states look at it? I don't know. They'll wonder about the value of it. Is there any value in this? At least on a public-facing thing, they may not think there's any value in letting the public know. But I'm getting grumpier with that read.
Yeah, sorry. It's hard because
there's a lot of money that's there's a lot of wealth and money that's pulling strings around here.
Yeah. And it's that balancing act between it's like the Catholic Church and the priests. Do you confess that, oh yeah, there's been bad behavior by our priest, or do you shuffle it under the rug and hope that it gets better? We'll take some internal steps and it'll fix the problem without doing a lot of highlighting.
That's actually a really good analogy.
And for us, we want to know the truth. We don't.
It doesn't change anything, but other than you're trying to lessons learned and do better.
Yeah, but you see, that's when you have a mentality of accountability, and you respect the intellect of your audience. If you think hiding it is not an option, and maybe that's just yet another thing that Trump's sole contract is not allowing it to be swept under the rug, that it's got to come out, and people have to have the courage to say this is not right, and this needs to be a light needs to be shown on this. We can't sweep this under the rug. Ugh. All right. Okay. Will the light be shown on it? Will they actually be willing to shine a light on this? Do a little four-carder. Or are they going to just treat us like a bunch of idiots? Jesus. Okay, it's a balancing act. Well, we don't want to upset the red hats. At the same time, God, I'm so tired of appeasing the red hats. But if we do it, people are going to be feel left out, that their votes, that the elections are compromised, the votes can't be secured. Our voting is super important, and it's kind of our nation is found, the freedom of our nation is basically founded on that. But we need to bring this to an end. This needs to be brought to an end, and we need to do the hard work. We need to do the work behind it. Will they actually go out there and expose that, yeah, the nonsense has been going on? It's the tough part is if this is the main clarifier, their concern is that people will feel like their votes weren't counted, that the system failed them, and they're trying to come up with the political balance for it. These two side clarifiers are basically saying, yeah, you need to do this, you need to bring this to an end, and you need to do the work. If I really wish this was the main clarifier, because that would tell me, yeah, they're going to bring an end to it. In this case, I think initially, at least, they're going to try and do the political balancing act.
You know what I get from that? It's only 2 years before you can change the election again.
Yeah.
2 years is such a short time.
You may be right. I just it's not going to happen right away. Is kind of what I'm feeling on that.
I'm done.
Fair enough.
This has irritated me enough because I was hoping for truth, justice, the American way answers, and what I got is what can we do? Oh, we'll just quietly do. I'm tired of people quietly doing things in the background. I want big, loud things up front, shouting, screaming in your face. Again, when we were talking about, will Biden and company come in on the 11th hour and rescue us all, and complaining that Gary and David don't like minutia and reading between the lines. We like big, bold things, big, bold flavors. It's got hints of oak and blackberries. No, it tastes like beer. We don't necessarily need the subtlety. You can hit us over the head with a club with the spike on it. Yeah, we prefer the big, bold flavors. Thank you very much. Again, and at this point, we may not be able to do anything about it. Even if they looked and they showed that, it would be one thing to. Let's just pretend Donald Trump cannot be taken out of office. If they show that all the swing states, 9 swing states, look at it, and let's say Kamala Harris won every one of those states, and that there's a bunch of cheating going on, but they say, but you know what? We can't do anything about it. He's in as the president. Fine, but at least we know what the real results were. And if we know what the real results were and they took steps to fix it so it can't happen again, then fine, then we deal with it. Yeah. I might argue that I'd want a special election to address it. Another presidential election in 2026 because y'all cheated. Mm-hmm. And you don't deserve to be in there. The minute that you know that we found the problem and we fixed it, we should have what the rest of the world does: snap elections.
Yeah, exactly.
Election in a month. Get your ass going because we're voting for our president now that we fixed this, and we're going to put the government in as soon as possible. Yeah, I would love to see that. Yeah, in my fantasy world, I'd like a pony too, and pink skies with purpley, fluffy lavender clouds.
Yeah,
ain't gonna get that either. Crumble. Anything you want to add to
that? I've got one more thing for you.
Oh, is that
the secret card? Yeah. You're gonna like the secret card. It's the 8 of Cups.
It's something David has a hard time doing.
Emotionally walking away. So the 8 of Cups is emotionally walking away. It's almost what Dave was saying, which is I'd be willing to accept it if they proved and fixed the problem and had a snap election. It's I'm willing to put my outrage aside.
And even if they didn't, it's like it's fixed and we're going to do it. Now, what would seem more fair is you found it, you fixed it, and then having a snap election. That's the most fair thing you can do.
Yes, absolutely.
But if you don't have the snap election, at least it's fixed for the next one. This guy's out, and your one person, one vote's actually going to matter.
Yeah.
But we may not get that either.
Yeah. And once again, you would need both houses. You need the House and the Senate to be on board with this because sure as shit, Trump ain't going to be on board with it.
Well, then it also would be a matter of the swing states because this would be a state-run thing, right?
Yeah.
So the states themselves can go in there and potentially fix this problem, and it should be the states going in there to fix this problem. Because right now, the garbage system that we have for elections, it's not the person who gets the most votes, it's who gets the electoral college votes, which means that it doesn't matter how you vote in California because those votes are going to the Democrat. It matters how you vote in Michigan or Wisconsin or Ohio and Colorado.
Basically, it comes down to 6 or 7 states decide the election.
And those are the ones that need to fix it first.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching this video and support our channel. We do appreciate it.
If you like these videos, give us a thumbs up. We're almost to 20,000, so let's see if we can get there, folks.
All right.
Subscribe. We put out a new video every day at midnight. And leave a comment. I read all the comments, and I respond to many.
All right. And we'll catch you on the next video. Take care.
Bye.